All right, I think it's kind of a delay too here. So I'm going to go ahead and go on. Most of you guys, if you're here in the group, I'm Sherea VeJauan, co-founder of the Goal Setters Club, author of the 2020 Goals Journal. Bam, hopefully all of you guys should have your copy. I've published over 11 books and journals on the topic of goal setting and personal development. And so tonight we're going to be talking about self-care. So this is called Pause. So if you have any questions for me throughout the webinar, feel free to ask them and post them here in the group. Again, thank you for your patience because, this is, something new for me. So just work with me. I'm on my computer and I have to look up my phone for your comments. So hopefully you guys have already downloaded the worksheet. If you didn't, there will be a link. I put a link in earlier, so you will get the worksheets that you see on the screen. So I'm going to give you some sample goals tonight. I'm going to give you some tips, some resources. And at the end of the webinar, make sure that you guys sign up for the 30-day self-care challenge, which starts tomorrow. And so these two worksheets I created for you. You'll be able to download them. You should have a self-care routine worksheet, the one in the middle. And then you should have a self-care challenge worksheet that you can write the thing that you're going to do every day. When you sign up for the challenge, I'm going to give you some prompts. But here's a free worksheet that you can fill in for yourself. So in the goals journal, it is broken down into 12 categories. So, in January, we worked on our health and fitness. February, we worked on our relationships. March, we worked on our finances. April, we worked on our home goals. And then May, we are working on our self-care. So this month for May, we are focused on our self-care. So I like to start with a couple of quotes. These are some awesome quotes that I love when it comes to self-care. The sweetest, most revolutionary self-care step anyone can take is the first one. Take it over and over and over again. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including you. Restore connection is not just for devices, it's for people too. If we cannot disconnect, we cannot lead. Creating the culture of burnout is opposite to creating a culture of sustainable creativity. This is something that needs to be taught in business schools. Solitude is where I place my chaos to rest and awaken my inner peace. And I'm just going to skip down. There's a quote by yours truly: don't wait until the well is dry to appreciate the worth of water. So those are a few quotes. Let's see. So let me see if I can use my, I wish I could hear Vince right now. I'm going to use my Wendy Williams voice. How you doing? So as an entrepreneur, I'm constantly in motion. When I'm asked how you're doing, the most natural and respected response is busy. Of course, I listen to Gary Vee and I listen to Eric Thomas, and these guys are screaming to get up and hustle and grind. It's hard to tell the difference sometimes between self-care and laziness. And so I used to think busy was boss and laying down was lazy. One of my first jobs as a teenager was at McDonald's. My boss, Cleo, and I just found him on Facebook. It's so interesting. He used to say, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. So when he would walk by, and this was at McDonald's when I was 16, he would walk by and we weren't cleaning, we weren't busy. He said, act busy. So even if you're not busy, I better see you cleaning and I better see you working. And so I kind of took that same philosophy into my life where I couldn't see myself resting. I always had to be working, busy, moving. So when I would hear people say, I'm getting some me time, or I'm gonna go shopping, or it's gonna be a girls' night out, I used to think that was selfish, and you'll read that in the book if you're on that chapter in May. How dare you go rest and have fun or have the nerve to go on vacation when there's so much work to be done? And if you're a parent, the work will never be done. So I had to learn the hard way that if you don't take time to rest, it will be forced upon you when it's least convenient. So self-care doesn't mean less work. It means working differently. It means setting up new rules, new time frames, new daily rituals that will hopefully prevent you from burning out. So I'm not asking you to stop, just asking you to pause. And so that's what the webinar is called tonight, Pause. So if you already have a self-care program, great. Use the month of May to discover new ways to create or add to your self-care plan. If you don't have a self-care routine, then of course we're going to be doing a challenge on tomorrow. Tomorrow is next month, May 1st. And so you guys make sure you sign up for that, and you'll get prompts every day from me. Okay, so as I mentioned, and as you know, especially if you've been using the journal for a long time, you know there are 7 steps to my goal setting program. Step 1 is to write your goals down. So based on your ideal life, what self-care goals do you need to set in place to create the life you ultimately want to live? So even if your ultimate life goal is to earn a 6-figure income, travel the world, start a family. So we'll make that like our ultimate goal. What self-care plan do you need to set in place to prevent burnout? So we're going to start with writing some self-care goals. So again, our main goal is to earn a 6-figure income, travel the world, start a family. One of your self-care goals may be to make sure you're getting the proper rest, because without the proper rest, it will be hard to achieve those other goals that you want to achieve in your life. So we'll use that as our main goal to focus on getting proper rest. So most of you have heard the acronym SMART, SMART goals, being specific, measurable, attainable, making sure it's realistic, making sure it's time bound. And so when we say get proper rest, you want to put that in a SMART category. So how do we make getting proper rest SMART? So getting proper rest written as a SMART goal will look like, I will sleep 8 hours every weekend beginning May 1st. I will sleep 6 hours every weekday beginning May 1st. So that gives you a little more clarity to just saying, oh, I'm gonna get proper rest. So what does that mean? How much rest do you need? And this is funny because this was actually one of my goals back in the day. I know my husband and I, we used to do overnighters, and our goal was, okay, if we're not done with the work, we just keep drinking more coffee until we're done with the work. There was no set bedtime, and we would just be literally falling asleep wherever we fell asleep at. And so that led to me being dehydrated and just not productive. You think you're productive, but then you're not all the way productive as you could be if you had the proper rest and that you were hydrated. So because my wake up time, I think this morning I woke up at 3 or 3:30. So usually I wake up around 3, 4 o'clock. So I try to go to bed like around 9 o'clock. That gives me about 6 hours. My timer actually went off like, hey, you're gonna be going, and I keep a timer on my phone to say, if you wanna get 6 hours, you need to go to sleep by this time. Or if I stay up later, like 10 or 11, then I need to wake up a little bit later, like 5 or 6. So know how much sleep that you need to get, and then based on that, set your specific goal. All right, number 2, balance. So again, our ultimate life goal is earn a 6-figure income, travel, start a family. So in order to be successful, you need to have proper rest by getting at least 8 hours of sleep, right? So rest is vital, but what other goals do you need? And so that's our step 2 is creating balance. So your self-care goals is not just, of course, okay, taking a bath or taking a walk, but emotional, spiritual, physical self-care. So here are some examples. Meditate for 20 minutes every day. Take a detox bath every Saturday. I was doing that every Saturday, and I got thrown off a little bit, but every Saturday I would take my detox bath with my minerals and my essential oils and my Epsom salt, and lights are out, candles, and that was just my time, just an hour, 30 minutes. So that depends on what kind of kids you have at home. If you have smaller kids, you might need to ask, make sure somebody's taking care of them. Let's see, taking a power nap twice a week, getting a massage once a month, drinking a gallon of water every day. That is one of my goals. Working out 3 times a week, taking a 15-minute walk every day, reading a new book each month, seeing a therapist once a month, or getting a massage once a month. So you want to mix it up where you have some emotional self-care, some spiritual self-care, some artistic type of self-care goals. All right. Next, research. Based on the goals you set, it's time to do research on support that you need. What books can you read? What magazines can you subscribe to? What organizations do you need to be a part of? Do you need a coach? This step will help you prepare and give you the tools that you need on your journey. So what does that research look like? So research who's on your team. So when it comes to self-care, personal trainer, your therapist, a massage therapist, a chiropractor. All right, sorry, because I'm looking at my phone. That's how I can't see any comments here. So I'm trying to look at my phone to see if you guys have any comments or questions. For our self-care goal of getting proper rest, if you have sleep anxiety or sleep apnea, a doctor may be a part of your team. Right? What books and magazines can help you reach your goals? So there are a lot of books. Let me see if I have some, maybe I'll put that in the comment section later, but The Sleep Revolution by Arianna Huffington is really good in case that's your goal, to get more rest. How Did I Get So Busy by Valerie Burton. Calm. I love this book. It's a pretty cool self-care book too. Calm. They have an app that you could download, and it has some activities and ideas that you can do for self-care. The Self-Love Experiment, I just bought that today. And then Self-Care Matters, A Revolutionary Approach. I have that book too. That's a really good book. So podcasts that you can listen to. So whatever your main self-care goal is, there is research available for you in terms of who's on your team, books, coaches that you can get for almost any topic. There's even, I was doing research for sleep. There is a sleep website that's a 4-week plan, $695, comes with a sleep coach. And I was just like, okay. So really, literally, if your goal is to sleep more and you did the research, you would have more than enough people on your team to make sure you get that done. All right, 4, creating affirmations. And this is a quote by yours truly. Say it until you believe it, do it until you see it, and sow it until you reap it. And I have to, that is my constant struggle, is saying to myself, you know, I just put notes all in my office, and I put notes all over here just to remind myself and talk to myself throughout the day and have positive self-talk. And so if you're creating a self-care routine and that's difficult for you, then it might be good to write yourself a self-care affirmation that you read until you believe what it is you're reading. So I'm going to read my self-care affirmation. Self-care is my priority. I cannot effectively care for others if I don't first take care of myself. I'm always well-rested, well-dressed, well-groomed, and well-cared for. My nails, hair, and outfits are put together to ensure confidence while performing my daily activities. I have routines set in place to make sure I schedule time with myself. And so this is my affirmation. And what's good about this too, if you're reading it, like now, if I'm reading it, I'll say, okay, my hair is not done, my nails aren't done. Once I read that, it's like, let me go do my hair and let me go do my nails. So sometimes your affirmation will help you get on track where you want to be with your self-care goals. All right, any questions so far? I know I'm kind of speeding through. Any questions? All right, so the next step is visualize. And again, if you've been using the journal, then you know these are the steps that are consistent through the whole journal for every chapter. Every chapter is to write them down, balance, research, visualize, do your affirmations. So and it works for every goal. So step 5 is to visualize. Remember your why by creating a visual, whether it's a big vision board, a photo collage on your desk, or just a photo that you take along with you on the go. Create a visual representation of your self-care goals for 2020. Anything you can look at every day that reminds you of what your goals are, that's ideal. And it doesn't have to be a vision board per se. You can lay your clothes out. So if you're leaving for the day, lay out your sleep clothes before you go. And so when you come home, you'll see your sleep clothes on the bed and be like, hey, let me get a little nap. Or if you're putting things outside too, so when you pass by, you're like, let me sit here, let me take a break. So creating an atmosphere, if your goal is to rest or take a break, creating an atmosphere around your home that says break. I love coffee. And so I still haven't gotten my perfect coffee bar yet, but just putting things around. I make sure my mugs have their own cabinet because I love mugs. I love different size mugs. I like different colors. I like words on my mugs. So if your self-care routine is to have coffee or have tea consistently, then make sure you have a tea station or you have a coffee station and it's readily available for you to relax, or your books. We have books all over. So I love reading. My husband loves reading. And so we have books everywhere, in the garage, in the hallway, in the living room. So if you love reading and you have books, then make sure your books are accessible, wherever you are. So it doesn't have to be a vision board per se, but just setting up your space where you see what your goal is. All right, so creating routines. So accomplishing your goals can be challenging. Goals should be broken down to small routines that are achievable, one step at a time, one day at a time. So in order to have a consistent self-care plan, you want to create weekly, monthly, yearly routines, and some of us need daily routines. I know a couple years ago, I think it was 2017, we had Ursula Foster on, who's a masseuse. I hope I said that right, because I know she calls herself something else, but she said every single solitary day you should be doing something that has to do with self-care. And it could be simple as when you take your, taking your shower. So here are some examples. And I actually just bought some eucalyptus from a local farm. And so I know I'm going to start putting the eucalyptus in the shower. I've read a lot of stuff about that. So that'll be my new little spa shower thing. And I'll also put essential oils inside of the shower too, like peppermint and sometimes like the eucalyptus lemon in first, and then as the water comes, you get that little steam of essential oils. So it could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be, oh, let me run this bath and do this. So this is just some sample routines that you can consider. Me Monday. Maybe if you don't care about yourself none through the week, Monday is your day. Hey, today is Me Monday. I'm gonna take care of me, even if maybe it's all day, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's 15 minutes. Music Monday. I've been doing that a little bit more. We usually play music to ourselves in our earphones, but I've been pulling out music and playing it loud and kind of dancing around a little bit. Detox Tea Tuesday, maybe that's a day you can have some detox tea. Trader Joe's has some really good teas too. They have some really nice teas. Water Wednesday, making sure you're drinking water. You can put some, infuse it. Fresh Flower Friday, I love flowers. I love fresh flowers. Usually on Fridays, I go to Trader Joe's. They have good prices. And just fill your house fresh with flowers. Open up the window. Or if you have a garden, we have a garden also. So you can pick flowers outside. We have a rose garden. Sleep in Saturday, maybe just sleep in. Hey, it's Saturday, I'm gonna sleep in. Sleeping in to me is like 6 or 7. 7, me and my husband would be like, oh my God, it's 6:30 and we overslept. Sauna Sunday. I just canceled my gym membership, but I loved going to the gym not to work out, but I love to go to the gym for the sauna. So getting a routine, it could be weekly, it could be daily, it could be monthly, but making sure you have, and you guys do have this worksheet. I think you have one that's filled in, and then you have one that's blank. Maybe it's just blank. So when you do your downloads, you'll have access to this worksheet, and then you can fill it out. You can reprint it and come up with some routines that you could do. Okay. Any questions? Ken, is that a cry face? Is that because I said I go to the gym for the summer and I have to work out? All right, let's see. All right, step 7, celebrate. How will you celebrate your success? So usually when you celebrate, or when you reach a weight goal, you buy a new outfit, or you write a book, you have a book launch. So maybe when you set a self-care goal for yourself, maybe your celebration would be a yearly retreat, or maybe a yearly vacation, or yearly cruise. I know a lot of people used to go to what was that place? Catalina Island on their birthday, because they gave you a free, trip on your birthday. So find a way to always celebrate your success when you achieve a goal, a milestone goal. We have a lot of celebrating to do. My daughter's getting ready to turn 21 on Sunday. That's a milestone. I'll be turning 50 this year. That's a milestone. Next year, we'll be celebrating 30 years of marriage. That's a milestone. And so we have to be, and I'm really bad, I'm trying to be a lot better. We have to be intentional about making a big deal out of those milestones, especially now. And especially now with, everything that's happening, you just don't know how the next day is going to be. And so just making creating an atmosphere of celebration. All right, any questions? Q&A. Let me grab my phone. Do you have any questions? And I'm thinking you guys can hear me all okay. So my goal would be to be live, live on our Sundays, and then once a month, maybe do the webinar so we can do the slides, and so I can give you guys a little bit more information. All right, no questions? No questions. All right, so tomorrow, May 1st, we are having our 30-day self-care challenge. Is absolutely free, so you can invite your friends and family. The link is there, ShereaVeJauan.com/self-care challenge. You sign up, you'll get prompts. This is for everybody. So in your downloads too, you'll get this little picture. So if you want to share that, if you want to invite your family to do it, please do. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. That is the end of our webinar for tonight. Again, I will do this once a month, same 7 steps with your goals journal. Here's where you can find me outside of our group. My website, ShereaVeJauan.com, Twitter, Sherea VeJauan. I'll be sharing a lot of stuff on Twitter for the month for self-care, little one-liners and things like that. So if you're on Twitter, follow me there.